morning.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you?
Good, good. Can't complain.
It's nice to finally see your face.
Yes, the same here. The same here.
We've just been talking over email and over phone call, so it's really
And
great.
WhatsApp.
So thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Have you been enjoying the builder so far? I saw your website is absolutely amazing.
Yes, it's up and running. I am so excited. It was very easy, actually. I mean, I'm not tech savvy or anything like that, but it was really easy to set up. And if I was like unsure of something, I could easily ask you or the support team, and they really like on it, like really quick.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad to hear. I mean, that's why we're here at the end of the day to assist you as best possible. And
Yes.
in terms of integrating the website with the payment gateway, I know you utilize PayFast. So how did you find
Yeah.
that?
I find it very easy. It was like really just like a click of a button because all the like I don't know data or whatever they use that you can integrate in what is really just the click of a button. Like you don't need to be a pro at all. Like it was really simple where you go to the store section and you have to put the payment options on and you really just click because PayFast will send you all the settings. So that thing you just paste into it. It's just like really easy. Like I found it extremely enjoyable actually. I was really proud of myself for achieving that part.
Sure. And I think a lot of business owners, that's one of the biggest misconceptions is that, starting with an online store and integrating a payment gateway is such a daunting thing, but it's
Yeah.
actually quite easy. And I think it's going to be nice for entrepreneurs to be able to hear that from somebody who did
Yeah.
it. I think you did it in under a day. You created your website.
Yes, it was really quick. That is how excited I was about it. But also it's really simple. Like you can really choose like the templates, whichever one you like. And the ones I've chose was that was speaking to my brand, the simplicity, straight to the point, and it was like a chop. Like you don't even spend days on it. The only reason I spent days on it was because I just wanted to tweak a little bit more, like do a little bit extra stuff. I think you'll never be satisfied with what you put on or anything like that. But it's been quick, quick,
But
quick.
yeah. And I think that's the beauty of it as well as being able to edit it whenever you want to. So it's in the ball's in your court. So if there's any content that you want to change, it's literally just a click of a button. And how did you find like the drag and drop functionality of the website builder? Was that quite easy?
For me, that was very easy. Obviously, in the beginning, you still need to figure out how it works. But for me, it didn't take a day at all. Like you said, I was basically done within a day. It's really just play with it for a bit. You
Yes.
really need to feel the website and play with the I think it's a widget. It's called a widget, I think.
Yes.
You just need to
Yes.
play with them a bit and see how it falls. If you're not happy with it, there's like this delete button you'll get. Delete it if you're not happy with it, but really play with the website builder and see. And now it's like, it's so easy.
Yeah. Look at you with your terminology, widgets. Right. Okay, well, that's great. It's really good feedback to have, and I'm sure the other small businesses and tech startups, they're all going to appreciate the feedback that you have. And maybe you can just touch on what it is exactly that you do, and how you came about doing what you do.
Okay. So basically, um, we all know about the pandemic that happened like last year in March. I didn't even know that I was going to lose my job in July. And that to me was a big blow because now you feel like you've made all the plans. You want to start over with your life. You want to do things. You really had those plans for your life to be a bit successful, get in a better space. But it didn't happen like that. I lost my job. I had to do something that I never do. I had to babysit. I did that so that, no, I was serious. The lady I met through my daughter's school, she said, look, yeah, I want to take my daughter out of school. I've heard you also want to take your daughter out. If you'd like to look after my child until like January, then we take them back to school when we feel comfortable after everything has settled.
Yeah.
And I've watched after the little one, and then in September, me and my friend had a chat one night, and she spoke to me about that I need to start with my clothing designs again. I need to get into it. And I'm like, well, but then just start small. And I'm like, oh my word, I don't know. Maybe if I find a job, then do it as a side. But I think what has happened is you're so desperate to change your situation that I was just like in on it, because she asked for samples. I told her about my idea about the earrings. I wasn't sure she was going to think it was a crazy idea. And she said, that's perfect. Send me your samples. She stocked them at her store. And the rest is basically history. It's still a struggle because I'm still a small business. But now I'm at the point where I don't have the babysitting job anymore. Like Juicy Clay is the only income that I get. So, I mean, this is what we all are facing. The pandemic has hit a lot of people hard, but it's really utilizing that time and focus it more on something positive. How can I adapt to what we are facing right now? That's basically how I've looked at it.
And I think, do you think, I mean, it's beautiful to hear, obviously, well, sad to hear that you lost your job, beautiful to hear that you found your feet and you were just on the go from the get-go. Do you think that if the pandemic hadn't happened, do you think that you would have taken this step?
No.
So you think it gave you that push because you had
I would not have taken I would not have taken this step right now. But I think what lockdown has done, it brings you to TikTok and you see a different world. And that's where I discovered about the earrings. And I thought, wow, this is something different. I never knew I had the desire to do something like this until the situation pushed me and I had the opportunity and I just jumped for it. I was like, you know what? I don't have much, but let's use what I have and see where this goes. So even if I do get an employment where I get a salary every month, I'm not going to give up on Juicy. I'm going to keep pushing for this brand to grow because I believe in this brand. I didn't just start it to survive, but I started it to make some sort of change because we all have some sort of like make a change in your little world, if it makes sense.
Yeah. And is it something that you've been passionate about in the past? Jewelry and design?
Fashion designing was my biggest thing. Like that's actually where the creative part is. Like I love working with these hands of mine. I'm not the type that want to sit in class and like, I'm not, give me something to make. I want to like I make clothes. And that's where I think the jewelry thing, I've never made jewelry before. So September 2020, because I watched so many videos on TikTok and of how to do it, I've just pushed myself. I said, look here, let's give it a go. And I didn't realize that I can actually do it. And now I've become to the point where I'm confident in what I can do. So it's almost like your situation will push you in such a corner that you don't even realize that you have this ability to make something out of nothing and not having any experience in it. So jewelry making was not my experience at all. But because of the creative part, I think that's why it was easier for me to see what people would like. How can I get better in my craft? So it's basically for me just like that,
So basically stepped out of your comfort zone quite a bit.
Yes. It really pushed me out of it completely. I was like swimming, and I think that's my goal with Juicy is like what it teach me is to step out of your comfort zone, because if there's one thing the pandemic has showed us all, your situation is not safe at all. So you have to adapt as quick as possible. It's not easy. There's going to be a lot of moments where you're going to feel, it's really hectic, but push yourself. You'll be surprised at what is inside. You won't be like, how can I say? you won't be disappointed. I think sometimes people are too comfortable. Like push yourself. Like I'm pushing myself to the core.
Oh, definitely. I think as well, based on what we said already, the pandemic's definitely pushed people outside of their comfort zones,
Yeah.
getting people to explore those avenues that they maybe put aside or
Yeah.
parked at the back of their minds prior to. So
Yeah.
from that, what limits is Juicy Clay going to push coming up?
Oh, what are we going to push
Yeah,
for
what,
this year?
so what limits are you going to push with Juicy Clay in the future?
Telling you. Um, yeah, I think, I'm going to push it. I didn't want to say anything, but I'm really pushing for big marketplaces.
Okay.
Like, not like your small marketplace. And I'm not saying I don't want to do that, but I'm pushing for big marketplace because I think this is the time where small businesses need to take advantage of this opportunity because everything is going online. If you're not on this thing right now, that you can almost like miss it out. I think this is really the opportunity. So I'm pushing for big market. I don't want to say the names yet. I don't want to say the names, otherwise I'm going to give out too much. But I'm pushing for a big marketplace, and fingers crossed. And I think it's the opportunity. We need to see what we can do, and that's just my approach right now. I'm pushing proper big. Yes, I'm a one-man show, but you know what? I'm not scared of hard work, late nights. We need to do what we need to get the name out there, and I'm all about that right now. So we're gonna push it.
I have no doubt that you will succeed based on your story and based on how you got up after you were knocked down. I have no doubt that you're going to succeed. But you're playing hard to get, so we don't know where you're going, but it's going to keep us watching.
Please
Stay
do.
But thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the little catch up and the positive words for other small businesses and startups and entrepreneurs that are in a bit of turmoil in terms of starting. So I think the advice that you've given is going to be very useful to those
Yes.
entrepreneurs that are in a little bit of turmoil. And maybe to end off, you can just give a tip, a word of advice that you have for entrepreneurs that are in a position where you were.
Yeah. Geez, the only advice I can give, I mean, my business is like 5 months old, I think. So it's just very small, but just something I've learned for the last 5 months. I think start. Don't wait for the right time. There is no such thing as the right time. So a lot of people are very like, I must wait for this, I must wait for that. It's not happening like that. That's not the reality of life. You need to start and use what you have. There's no like
your hands.
yes. there's one thing that Vusi, I can't remember his surname, but I'm fascinated about him. He's one of the dragons. He's really successful, and he said that your excuse is valid. Like your upbringing, you have a lack of resources, all that thing is valid. Like it's valid. Like we get what you are going through a tough time, it's valid, but is it going to change your situation? So I think it's more about stepping out of the box. Don't be scared. You can't expect things to happen if you just sit and wish for it just to happen for you. You need to push out there, get your name out there, speak to your family and friends because it's about word of mouth, and try and sell your products, but in a way that people can relate to you and that they can trust you. Build that trust because it's all about building trust with people that don't know your brand yet. So that's all I can say. Sorry, that was a bit of a lot.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's excellent advice, and I think that always gives a little bit of motivation to entrepreneurs because I'm sure there are so many that are in the same boat as you. So thank you. I appreciate it.